Hello, Fightful Faithful. It's a Tuesday, and oh, what a Tuesday it was.
Welcome back to Sour Grapes Unpeeled.
I wish I was peeled. I wish somebody just took one of those carrot peeler things just to all of me until I just went away. Sometimes it just feels like one of those days, doesn't it? But I am, in fact, unpeeled. So
it's
this is Kate. It's the show we do on Tuesday.
It's the Sour Grapes Tuesday night post show of NXT. Get in your super chats, get in your humper chats, leave a thumbs up on this video, and holy cow, Alex, over 200,000 subscribers on this channel. That is objectively wild. I 3 months ago had started making like a little graphic for us that was for 150,000 subscribers, and I like put it down for a couple weeks, and then I was like, well, we're way past that now. And Sean was like, we should probably do something for 200,000 subscribers, and I was like, this was not that long ago that I started working on this. So thank you for the continued support. FightfulSelect.com, all the scoops you could want. There's going to be a Hurt Syndicate update going up there. I'll give you this much for free. They hurt people. So I don't know what other details Sean has, but I know that they hurt people, as the Hurt Syndicate does. But we've got a lot to talk about NXT wise. There was well, let's start with this, Alex. Yesterday we talked about Raw and the weekend that was. And I did media Friday morning, which was delightful. Good experience. Because Sean missed his flight coming in for SummerSlam.
Yes.
And I went to WrestleCon the next day. And then I started to not feel so great. And I was driving home. And sorry to be disgusting, I'll just tell you now. I threw up in my purse while I was driving. There was nowhere to pull over. Just me trucking down 287, pulling my laptop out of my laptop bag, pulling my wallet out of my laptop bag, and I got sick. And my stomach has been hurting ever since, because there's been a lot going on in wrestling world. Much of it we've plowed through already. But this tonight, this one didn't hurt my stomach so much as it hurt my heart. Because, Alex, this show was getting a lot better for a while. And then we have taken a considerable amount of steps back, save Ethan Page, who is getting like still 80s heat off of this angle. And I like what they're doing with him. But, man, I'm just not to be so aggressive with my language, but I'm going to just say it. Not great.
Not great.
Not great.
So not great.
Puns. Do you think because of Unpeeled we should do like things like fruit puns, like peel things?
People are saying illness puns because of the sacrificed bag. We could do trash fire puns. We could do that.
Those feel fairly limited.
Yeah, it does. We've done medical puns many times, and they're always great. So I don't mind if we do that again, because those people seem to have a lot of those, and that makes us money.
Okay. Plus, maybe we can get Nurse Emily Cease in the chat if we go with some medical puns. We'll do medical puns.
We'll do medical puns. Why not medical puns?
Let's do medical puns.
That's great. Do it. Let's do it.
Just don't make them like vomit centric, though. That's disgusting.
I mean, unless that is the pun. I mean, you don't have to shy away from it if you've got a good one. You know.
Yeah, I guess. It's like don't feel like you have to box yourself.
Don't feel like you have to box yourself in. It's true.
Or purse yourself in. Is the case.
Or purse yourself in. The wonderful Jim Dukers sent in something that says, "Thank you, Kate, Alex, and all of Sour Nation. As an old white dude, I don't have to deal directly with most of the awful crap that goes around. Thankful to share this safe space with folks who do have to deal with it every day."
We have just like an incredible community here. And I'm so thankful that we do our paywall show too, and I think like an extra layer of safety that people feel. But we have, with the Brock Lesnar return, people talking about their own experiences dealing with sexual assaults and things of that nature. And I'm so thankful that despite the fact that wrestling should not be a catalyst for sharing those experiences, you shouldn't be put in a position where that's what prompts it, I should say.
Yeah.
We have an incredible community here, and I thank everybody for being reasonable and being empathetic in a time where a lot of the discourse is, I'm just gonna say, not that. So,
yeah.
But thank you for your support, and thank you for being kind to others, even though you're not the one like directly affected by some of the
Yes.
Absolutely abhorrent stuff that's surfaced.
Absolutely. Meet Normus says, may Gabagool be with you both for continuing to watch this company.
And
I have one hand in my pocket, and the other one says, let's crank. Was NXT poopy? It was indeed.
Alex, was it poopy or was it a dumpster fire?
It was a dumpster fire. Hold on.
I don't think we've unveiled this on the main yet.
Not on the main. No, this is the mascot for the show. Whenever it's a dumpster fire, the dumpster fire will come out. It's really hard to see unless you get up. There you go. If you get kind of up close, you can kind of see that there are.
It lights up.
It lights up. It doesn't have to light up. Like it looks pretty good when it's not lit up. Hold on. Come on.
So Alex is collecting gadgets and gizmos aplenty for his studio that he's working on. Yeah. But this also says it's fine. I am fine. Everything is fine. Incredible pickup by you. Incredible pickup by you. Someone said it matches your Oscar the Grouch shirt. That's so true. I like the synergy. We're off to a great start.
Off to a great start. So a lot of the trash that was burning last week on this show was the Mariah May / Blake Monroe promo about old photos of Jordynne Grace. I think they dealt with it. I mean, they didn't really deal with it, but they addressed it in passing in the best possible way they could. Did not put a microphone in the hand of Blake Monroe, and seemingly now it's just another reason why Jordynne Grace hates Blake Monroe, and we can move past it hopefully without actually having to have her bring it up ever again. I'm hoping somebody did that because of a thing I'm going to talk about in a second about the way Ava talked about it, without actually mentioning it, like talking about it. I thought that I don't want to give them props for it because it's the bare minimum you needed to do, but they did it. They didn't make it worse. I assumed they would make it worse literally every week until they had their match. And they didn't make it worse. Like, the farther away we get from that promo, if they don't do anything to make it worse, it will recede into the back of our memories, and we won't have to talk about it anymore. But it was awful last week, and they, by not making it worse, somehow it made it better.
Yes to that. But I think part of my frustration, we talked about this last week with that, was they built a vehicle they didn't ride in, right?
Yes.
In addition to the horrendous content that they gave us last week, part of the frustration was the framework of the fact that they set up this friendship between Jordynne and Blake that lasted 2 weeks. But there was such an opportunity to make Blake Monroe clever in that as soon as Jordynne Grace divulged a vulnerability to her, she could have then turned that on its head.
Right.
So that part still sticks out to me. I'm glad that they didn't go deeper into this, but part of the frustration here, this is how you know, to me, this is my perception of things. To my knowledge, there aren't any women in the writer's room. No. And what's frustrating is I feel like I don't have a problem with them bringing this up as part of the story. I wish they would. I wish there were more women's stories that were told about things that women, I don't want to say there's not body dysmorphia for men too and rampant in wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
but I think maybe it's a hyper situation for women. You should be able to tell those stories on screen. You just have to be aware of the way that you're moving through them. And I don't want that either. Like, what if this was something Jordan Grace wanted to do and then they just presented it so poorly she can't tell that story or whatever, right? So I also don't think, certainly not telling the story is better than telling it as atrociously as they did last week. But I also don't find the solution to be we can't tell women's stories in the same way that I think there should be an archetype of sexy hot babes on screen. That's an archetype that I don't have a problem with the Mean Girls archetype. I have a problem when that's the only type of woman we see in NXT, right? So it's not like I'm not a Karen about it, but I have a problem when there's no other other range of that. So I also, for me, this is just for me, I don't want the solution to also be we can't bring vulnerable women specific stories on screen or women slanted stories on screen. Certainly men experience this too. But if it's a choice between just doing the Simpsons fading back into the hedges meme or doing it really poorly, I prefer the Simpsons meme.
Yeah,
for sure.
They are more than often they will double down on this crap.
Oh yeah. But we have three El Grande Americanos.
I was going to say they are literally tripling down on El Grande Americano at this time. So they usually do that, and so the fact that they didn't do that tonight is somehow just not doing anything is a step in the right direction.
Which honestly, like NXT is sadly better at.
Yeah. Blake and Kelani have the match that they set up from last week. It's good, but it's quick. I thought that like Kelani got a flurry of offense, went up to do a jumping something from the top rope and ended up getting headbutted out of the air, which looked pretty vicious, and then a giant knee from Blake, and I was like, holy crap, they're gonna finish off Kelani Jordan in less than 5 minutes, and then she kicked out, and I was like, all right, let's go, let's see what this does. And then Jordan Grace came out, where she was cosplaying Roderick Strong from 2 summers ago. She had the neck strong neck brace, and Blake Monroe runs away out into the parking lot where there is a waiting SUV. Is that her car, or did she carjack via the back passenger seat a car waiting for her? That was I don't understand why that car was there waiting for her. Anyway, Jordan tries to get to that car, but cannot get to that car. It's pouring down Wayne. There is a puddle. There is a puddle this deep that Jordan Grace is walking around in. And if you know her, that's 1/4 of her body height. Like she is a very small lady. So I was like, Bader, like if the NXT parking lot was not dangerous enough, can we get some better drainage back there? Like giant, huge puddles forming in the middle of this parking lot. That's not cool. But then
I give them credit because I think they knew they tapped the well on attacks in the parking lot being dangerous. So they said creatively, what can we do to make
accidental drownings?
Yeah,
that's what we're going for now.
Or at least like breaking an ankle because you stepped in a puddle wrong or whatever. Like I appreciate that they were like, it's not dangerous enough.
Shark attacks.
Figure out
shark attacks. That's what we're going for now. No longer are people getting mugged in the parking lot. Now just giant puddles full of sharks.
Sharknadoes just flying around.
Yeah. Jordan Grace goes to Ava's office and is like, you're not clear, but I will be by Heatwave. You got to give me this match. Yes. You can have the match versus Blake. And then Ava says, I know I'm supposed to be objective here, but after what Blake said last week, as a woman, I think she should just get her ass kicked. And that's all they said. And I'm glad that they acknowledged it in that way and that way only. And Jordan is like, okay, cool. At least somebody saw how shitty that was and is on my side.
Yeah.
And they made the match for Heatwave. I feel like that's, if Jordan Grace loses to Blake Monroe there, is that her swan song? Like, I mean, that's the thing, is like everybody keeps saying about how she's being paid main roster money to be in NXT, which is not what they like to do, unless that person is Nia Jax. But like, that's a different thing.
Well, people on the main roster come down for a minute and then go
right.
back up.
What I'm saying is, depending on how
than...
long they're going to be there for, this does not seem like a cup of coffee for Nia Jax. This feels like a long feud to me. But it was a long feud today. Just today, it was a long feud. But I think that they've done enough to now make me go, okay, I want to watch Jordan Grace beat the crap out of Blake Monroe. And I know that Blake Monroe, aka Mariah May, gives as good as she gets. So that should be a great match when they're really trying to beat each other up. That might be like the reason to tune into a Heatwave match. And I think that they did that well, but I also, Mariah May ended up losing the match via countout. By the time the ref got to 10, she was already on the freeway heading to Tampa Bay. Like, she was out of there. And the ref was like, she peeled out, and the ref was like 2 and went all the way to 10. So yeah, that was it. That was how she lost, by a count out, and Kelani won. So good for Kelani.
It was like a cartoon. So we talked, and there's been a lot of conversation. It's not just us on Sour Grapes. There's been a lot of people that are like, this Blake Monroe establishment in NXT has not gone well. And part of it is, I think, to me, there was something that was always very clever about the glamour in the story that she was in, because not to keep like drawing back to that, because I think that was something truly unique and special that happened with her and Toni Storm. But like, everyone talks about, and they should, that she has this almost like diva-like presentation, but she hits like a truck. So that makes her unique, and it does. But she was also not a dumb hot blonde. She was a clever and smart hot blonde who was opportunistic and manipulative as a heel. And I like here that, silly as it was, to me, she called that was a getaway car, man. She knew Jordan Grace was showing up to the building. That car was waiting for her in the parking lot. It was unlocked. She got in the back, and Jordan tried to chase her away in the pouring rain like a scorned lover. And I want more of that. I want more. Blake Monroe is prepared for the consequences of her own actions and still has an answer to those consequences. Like, that's a unique thing to a character, especially in NXT. Like, if she's a step ahead of the fallout of her own behavior, that's actually a really, really cool thing. It doesn't always have to be in this Bugs Bunny way, but it worked for me tonight. The match was very short, but I was kind of like, can we get more of that, please? Like, let them hoop, because I felt like Kelani was hanging in there tough. I wish Blake Monroe had some more wins under her belt before taking this loss. She's actually been in the ring very little, which is a complaint of mine here. But like, for her to lose already this, despite it being like,
I don't consider it even a loss. It's like the count out thing. Like, they already disparaged it later as though the win didn't even count. So like, if the win doesn't count, then the loss doesn't count. She hasn't been pinned. I don't even count if you are part of a tag team and you don't get pinned. I don't even count that as a loss, because they don't. So like, it's just like, if she's not getting pinned, you know how many people shouldn't be getting pinned and are getting pinned on a weekly basis? The fact that she's not getting pinned, like, that's good enough for me, because that's all I can ask for at this point.
Just like just champions all the time. But I hear you. I think the loss bothered me because of the lack of wins. I also just feel like if you're important,
Right.
you should be winning matches. So it's also the thing that it's in contrast to more than just the
Right.
loss tonight. I'm very glad that Kelani seems to still be like I always feel like the way WWE measures if someone's a priority is if they get screen time more than if they get wins and losses. And
Yes.
Kalani's grown so much that I'm glad that she's continuing to be on screen a lot because I think that's a healthy sign for her and her future. So I kind of was like, can we do a full match, please? This is a lot of fun.
This was a shade over 5 minutes. There were 2 matches on the card shorter than it.
Oh man, I knew it was bad. I knew the ratio of in-ring tonight was not good, but that's rough. 3 matches, 5 minutes and under is rough.
Yeah. So Leafy Green Dixon and Ponytail Mustache are backstage, and they seem to be having dual panic attacks. But they're okay. They're okay. It's not nearly as bad as what was going on with Leafy Green a few weeks ago for his singles bout that we never even found out who that was supposed to be against. He was completely crashing out and literally begged Mr. Chase to get him out of the match, which Mr. Chase agreed to. And they still have not dealt with that or what that was all supposed to be about. Now, they're like, wow, we're really excited
in fact, they completely abandoned it. They didn't
completely abandon it. Andre Chase walks up to them, and Ponytail Mustache, he says, wow, you guys are, wow, you guys okay? And they say, oh yeah, well, whew, we got this tag title match tonight, so we're getting ready for that. I was like, Ponytail Mustache, please, like, let them script you for this particular scene, because they didn't. And he's like, we have this tag team title match tonight, so, we're getting ready for that. And I was like, okay. Some things are over-scripted. These scenes need to be better done in that way. But, hey, so we're facing Hank and Tank tonight. What do you think our chances are? And Andre Chase is like 1 in a million. And they just straight up just steal the most popular joke from Dumb and Dumber, an all-time legendary comedy. So you're telling us there's a chance. I mean, I know it's a 30-year-old movie at this point, but I feel like even like Gen Z people know. So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah,
like,
it's a gift.
You know what I mean? It's a yeah. So I don't know. It's become a meme. So anyway, they're going to the ring. They have this match with Hank and Tank, and I'm expecting the match to get interrupted by Dark State because we know they're coming after the tag team titles. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to mislabel them. Dork State. I expected Dork State to show up. So I wasn't expecting.
Expect a finger on your butt promo?
No, that's later. And it was a thumb. It was a thumb up a butt. It was a PWG homage. Okay. Anyway, here's something I didn't expect. Okay. And this is the thing that I told you I was going to say that was very surprising. Leafy Green and Ponytail Mustache can hoop. They're hoopers. Now I'm not changing their names from Leafy Green and Ponytail Mustache until they drop the gimmick. But as a team and individually, there's hoopers. These guys are hoopers, man. They did a couple of things I'd never seen anybody do before. And I was like, that's really innovative. Like he's Ponytail Mustache standing on the apron, tries to like kick Hank.
I know what spot you're talking about. Yeah, this was great.
His leg through the ropes and around, and he continues the momentum into an enziguri, which I'd never seen before. Leafy Green's got hops. Like I did not realize that Leafy Greens could jump that high. but this one did.
At the very least, I thought only spinach could. I did not
Leafy
think
greens usually skip leg day, not this leafy green. He's jumping out of the gym.
That is just, as a vegan, that is a stereotype. Okay, we hit like.
So, here's the deal. Both of these guys actually seem to have maneuvers that they do really well.
Maneuvers.
So this is my thing about comedy wrestling. You can be a comedic gimmick, and when you get in the ring, still not suck.
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%.
These guys proved to me that they've got something, so that I'm actually looking forward to watching them actually become wrestlers now, because they're absolutely a laughing stock. That's the thing that they are. They hopefully will get the time to progress to a point where they're not doing this terrible chase you simp gimmick, and then they can be called not leafy green and not ponytail mustache.
Okay, he has to be ponytail mustache for the rest of our lives. Unfortunately, that's just, I don't make the rules. That's just the law is the law. And once you're ponytail mustache, you can't. He could shave his head and be clean shaven, and he's ponytail mustache forever.
All right.
Yes, they can hoop. Crucially to what you said about comedy wrestlers, like a Pretty Deadly, for example, or an Orange Cassidy, if you would. You have to be funny to be considered a comedy wrestler.
Right.
And the things that they are being given,
yes,
simps of a fake wrestling university and also having panic attacks, none of that is funny. And the last guy that they tried to saddle with not funny things, who was also very good in the ring and a part of this very same stable, was named Duke Hudson. And what happened to him, Alex? Because him and Osborne could have been a fun team, but no, they aren't, are they? Where are they now?
Not here. Not now.
Do you know how, speaking of funny wrestlers that can hoop, do you know how bad I miss Noam Dar? I was just looking up him and ZSJ matches on YouTube earlier, just to see. I was like, I'm just gonna go watch their Cruiserweight Classic match just to feel something. Just to feel something for Noam Dar again. My heart. But yes, they can go, man. They're really good. And like you said, what I was more taken aback by was the innovative offense that we got.
Yeah.
More than anything. Like there were some really unique things. It would be very cool if while they were attending this fake wrestling university, we saw them perhaps learning these different ways to innovate, but that's not what we get out of this.
Yeah.
We do have some greetings to read, though. We've gotten like a half hour into the show and we have not said.
Oh, I missed that one.
It's okay. That's what I'm here for. I got you.
Amazing Alex, Killer Kate, Powerful Papa Paul, Elizabeth, and all the SGS. Man, this company simultaneously sucks and blows. Like Gabagool will be with us. Now, you don't ever want to set it to suck and blow at the same time, because you will create a black hole.
That is
that's
true.
what has happened. That happened in Space Jam. Spaceballs? Space Jam, not Space Jam, Spaceballs. Different game. Different
very,
movies.
very different movies.
Yeah, yeah.
And my dad also chimes in saying, may the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be your back. And may you keep cool, Gabagool, with no migraines or COVID. May your family be blessed by the presence of J.W. Franco. Well, thank you, Dad, who is COVID-free. And I am migraine-free and not throwing up in my purse driving down 287.
Yeah. There was a lot of people in the chat who were very thought maybe I had been replaced by a pod person or something that I was putting over
AI.
And this is the thing. I pride myself on being able to call it like I see it. Like the hatred I have for certain people is like, once I've said, this is great. This is great now. Okay, good. There have been so many times where we've poked fun at certain acts,
sure.
and by a few months later, the nickname is gone because you have to have respect for them now.
The creeds.
Now, I have absolute respect for Messieurs Dixon and Connors in the ring. However, their characters will always be leafy green and ponytail mustache until they get rid of all of this stuff, because it's that the gimmick is what's holding them back. So
Yes,
like
as
they
Chase
can't be,
U does.
yeah, as Chase U always does.
Unfortunately, it's
But
not their fault.
they were doing some really great stuff. However, this is one of those matches that was sub 5 minutes. It was 3.5 minutes.
Yeah,
It
there's
been
no reason for
should have been about 3 minutes,
that.
because the ref nonsensically called the shoulder up after they had done the finishing sequence.
Very weird.
Nobody would have cared if you had called that as a clean pinfall. Nobody would have cared. I don't think what happened technically was his shoulder up, but he called that the shoulder was up. And so then what did Hank do? Hank and Tank got up and did the exact same 3 moves in succession to then pin the same guy again. Like that's you just can't do that. I mean, the referee needs to know that he shouldn't do that. He shouldn't do that. He shouldn't, in this particular case, if it's a championship match on a PLE, maybe. But this is a 3.5 minute second match of the night, random NXT. Just call it the way it is. Otherwise, it looks really bad for everybody involved.
And it's the difference between a 3.5 minute and a 5 minute match, like you said. Like,
yeah,
no one's gonna be whatever about that minute and a half. There was something that has been pointed out to me by viewers of this very post show who happen to be twins, that if you're watching this show, it's very overstimulating. Like, there's just so much going on. When you minimize the in-ring, that gets so much worse because everything is so crowded. And I noticed that too with this beginning of, like, you have Blake and Kelani and they're having their match, and then Jordan Grace shows up, and then she's running to the parking lot, and Jordan Grace is upset. And we have this 3-minute tag match, and then Dark State shows up. It's like there is no breathing room, and that's only gotten accelerated by A, less ring time, and B, the constant presence of, and I get you have promotional relationships, but like, and here's TNA, and here's LFG, and here's it's like, it's way too much for 1 2-hour wrestling program. And I was feeling the same way with the beginning segments of this show, because it was the way you went from all of this, and then you have the missed ref spot, and then Dark State. Like, it was so much that I was thinking in terms of, like, and I actually think they had said it too, like, if you're tuning in for the first time, this is a lot. And even the stuff that was a lot and good, like that Ethan Page segment, like I liked it. It's just like, oh, okay, and then who are these people? And they're not on the show, but they're important. Like, it's so much. I did enjoy the surprise of the Hoopers, but when you minimize the in-ring, this is a symptom of that. Like, that's what happens, because there's just no breathing room on your show. So when you have 3 segments that are, or matches that are under 5 minutes, it's a lot.
Yeah. Dork State's here after the match to attack Chase U and Hank and Tank, mostly Hank and Tank. They lay out Chase U pretty quickly, but they go after Hank and Tank, do the assistant power bomb to Tank, and I'm like, okay, fine. And then they cut a backstage promo later where the 3 of the guys say the stuff they usually say. And then
what happens, Alex?
And then Cutler James says, "We're getting up your butt, and we're gonna stay there as long as we want." But he does it like, "We're getting up your butt, and we're gonna stay there as long as we want." And Dion Lennox looks at him like, "We didn't talk about that part." And I don't know why Cutler James wants to stick a thumb up Hank and Tank's butt. but he does.
Their inability to. First of all, I can't be intimidated by you when you're the only people that lost at TNA.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody from TNA wins at all, except for these guys to Matt Cardona at his hometown.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else from TNA loses or hides in refrigerators, which we're going to talk about in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to take them as a serious group. But when something doesn't go right,
Mm-hmm.
they just revert to like, what if we did a mid-2000s? What if we asked ChatGPT to spit out something with mid-2000s comedy humor, specifically one that Alex Pulowski would hate?
Yeah.
And ChatGPT is like, I know exactly what Alex would hate. Let's put it on this television show. That's what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if they had just committed, if they had just followed through on any of the 74 things they started for these guys, we might be in a different spot with this faction.
And the thing of it is that this isn't the only thing they did with them during this episode.
Yeah, it's too much.
These guys are, I don't know, man.
They always revert to this comedy as a crutch. Like the only thing that they are a bigger crutch on than that is nostalgia. Like the amount of 2011 main events that we're getting on the main roster is ridiculous. But like the insistence to do this, and yesterday was very like Charlotte and Alexa had never been slapsticky before, and they were slapsticky yesterday. Io pulled it off because she's just so damn charming, but they did that with Io and Rhea, and then tonight it was like, what if we do more of this yuckity yuck shit? And it's like that you just use that to try and bail on stuff that's not working. So I don't know what the hell that was, but it was very weird. Pick a thing and follow through with it. That's all.
They also like hey man, when you got laid out by the chairs, you thought that was the culling? Ha ha! That was us, man. And I'm like, you specifically said in a promo after that it was not you. So the idea to be like, how stupid are you? You thought it wasn't us, even though we told you it was not us.
Like, are you the guys that claim your work by writing in your victim's blood on a wall? I mean, or are you the guys who set up fake attack? Like, you cannot be both. And like the fact that this is what you're doing with Saquon Sugar is like, stop. Just pick a direction and follow through on it. So much of all of wrestling is because it that doesn't work is because they make it so much more complicated than it needs to be. And with these guys, they made a huge splash and then we're like, what do we do next for months? And it's a bummer. It's a bummer.
Yeah. Backstage, JC's like, well, last week didn't go as planned because Jada's still out there. We got rid of Lash. Lash is busy with somebody, but Jada's still out there. We're worried about Jada. And then I don't watch TNA. Okay. So until somebody told me it wasn't this person, this is who I thought it was. Carlos Silva without the hat. Because he had the glasses. And I don't really know exactly what his face looks like. But I was like, I don't know anybody from TNA. So I thought maybe it was Carlos Silva without the hat. Because he had the glasses. You know what I mean? But it wasn't. Apparently.
This is like when you just didn't know what Jackie Redmond looked like. It's very like opposite.
I mean, I have never seen that person before in my life. And they didn't introduce him. So I didn't know who he was, but apparently it's Dana Brooke, aka Ash by Elegance's fragrance man, or whatever his fucking thing is.
That's what he is now. Nope, he's fragrance man.
He
was a superhero.
He's the dude who puffs things into the air and then she walks through them because she's a fragrance. You know what I mean? But he's like, but Dana Brooke, aka Ash by Elegance, is taking your title on Thursday or whatever. And JC's like, no, it's not happening.
How can I say this? I don't watch a lot of TNA either.
Mm-hmm.
But when I watched the pre-show of Slammiversary,
Mm-hmm.
I can't say I feel like Dana Brooke, Ash by Elegance has had the same in-ring growth that maybe some other people that have gone to TNA and come back have had. That match was bad. I'm sorry, it was really not great. And she, from what I have seen, it hasn't looked the best. She has a tremendous amount of upside elsewhere, but like in a TNA title program with JC Jane, of all the TNA knockouts, I was not like, that should be your next program. Yeah. But I'm not Carlos Silva, just like that other guy. I'm not Carlos Silva.
Jambeard says, isn't Fragrance Man also a former ref who went crooked for Taya and Johnny Impact? Possibly. I wasn't watching TNA then either.
Do you want to just make up other stuff about this guy? Because the lore is very fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Like again, like the somebody was saying, like, how do you remember the glasses but not the hat? No, that's the thing. I didn't know that he wears the hat everywhere. I thought that maybe he had taken the hat off, but he still had the glasses. That's what I did, because I don't know. All I know is that guy stood there and had the knockout title yanked out of his hands by JC Jane. So him coming in and being like, you have to fight Dana Brooke this week, seems like it would make sense to me. I didn't know about the existence of Fragrance Man.
The concierge.
He's a concierge. How could I have been so silly?
Give us more of your lore. I'm loving these. Fragrance Man, fragrance salesman. Like Scripps.
Yeah.
Doesn't he look like the Monopoly guy? You know who I think he is, Alex? I think he's like your mailman.
Oh yeah.
Always snooping in your mail.
Always snooping around.
Because things are about not shipped discreetly these days.
Oh no, not at all.
But I know one thing that is.
You dealing with a nosy mailman all up in your business about what you're ordering, what you're getting? Well, don't worry about it with BlueChew.com and the code FIGHTFUL. It ships discreetly. Discreetly. Fortunately for you, because the mailman's going to want to know what's going on. He's going to be delivering that mail to your house. He's going to hear all these sounds. He's going to be like, what's going on there? Well, I don't know, because this package doesn't say anything, but I have a feeling the package in there is saying something, and it will be, because of BlueChew.com and the code FIGHTFUL. Same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. Helps get you that main event performance and confidence. And you get your first shipment free when you go to BlueChew.com and use the code FIGHTFUL. Like I said, same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but much more affordable and in a chewable. Take their online quiz, and then when approved, it ships straight to your door. My gosh. BlueChew.com and the code FIGHTFUL. Mind your own business, mailman.
Yeah, mailman.
Yeah, mailman. That makes me miss Cardoza. That was always our thing. Alex, I'm going to shoot on Alex Pulowski right now.
Oh, my God.
He was not nearly as cooperative dancing with me backstage as he normally was. These kids in their phones. I'm back there because that's a jam. That's a jam. The Blue Chew ad has a jam behind it. There's a lot of backstage dancing that goes on that you guys don't see, which maybe you will see someday on Sour Grapes Unpeeled. But Alex normally is there with me, and we have a great time. And today he was nodding along, which is almost like insult to injury. Like if you just weren't dancing at all, I would have been like, that's just not what we're doing today. But you were like, I'm gonna just intentionally ignore you. That just hurts. But you hate friendship, so I should learn my lesson.
Tom LaValle says, does Blue Chew ship discreetly or discreetly?
Discreetly, so good I drink it neatly. If you thought you had the Wheatley's jingle out of your head, you don't anymore.
So yeah.
Buttons.
Yeah. Some puns. Let's do some puns. There are a lot of good puns here. Okay. C. Delgado says up Chuck Taylor. Swerve Sickland. CM Puke. Medusa Oblongetto. It's vomit centric. The Mrs. Mike Mizanin. The Mrs.
I don't get it.
I don't know either. Diverticulitis O'Neill.
Oh, no.
Surgeria Ripley. Psych Wardlow. And Bam Bam Biopsy.
Very nice.
Here we go. Spew Grayson. Alex Reynolds. Evil Puco. And might I add, not Johnny Hungy. Johnny Herpes. Techno Tinnitus 2000.
Very nice.
From Raphael, it's mesotheliomos. It's honestly, every time we do medical puns, somebody sends in mesotheliomos, and it's never not.
Oh my gosh.
So funny. Mesotheliomos is amazing. And Robert Flintstone vitamin. Very good.
Very nice.
Meat Norma says, well, it's the X-ray.
Very nice.
And also Ambulance Archer. Lieutenant
Very
Photo says, Aria diverticulitis.
Diverticulitis. Got you.
Chris Pereira says Cesaro section. The C-section. C-section. That's great. Tom LaValle says the total knee replacement package, Lex Luger.
Very nice.
This is very good from Lieutenant Photo. ROH World Champ Bandado. C. Delgado says the Hurt Syndemic led by MRI.
Very good.
That's you see it's the APA anectomy, but you have to say apanectomy, which is very good. Chris Perez says Tony D'Angelo plasty. We're gonna get to that. How we didn't get anything about him. We don't know if he's dead or what happened. This is not a proper cliffhanger. Meat Norma says Hospital Snow.
Very nice.
Scalpel White.
Scalpel White.
Scalpel White. Okay, there we go. Say there we go. Big emergency room like structure. Prescription Rossap. When you're
Very
sour, take Kalex. Medicarian Cross. Greg Cherry friend says pituitary funk. And Asina Minivan. Love yins. We love you too, Jake.
Fantastic, Greg. It's me in person at WrestleCon. It's awesome.
Jam Beard says hernia Jax. The colonoscopy.
Very nice.
Amazing Red Cross.
It's very important that the not dyslexic one of us does this because this is a lot for my eyes.
Chris Pereira says gallbladder match.
That's very
Louisville
good.
says R.N. Anderson.
Very nice.
Arn Anderson. Vaccine Dupree. Stethoscopin Rollins.
Wow.
I don't wait for Alex to open his mouth wide and scream. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is, but it'll probably happen at some point.
I mean, at some point I might do it. Let's see here. Okay. Everett Smith says colonoscopy Jordan. Diamond dialysis page. all epilepsy Ethan Page, and the coronary Kenny Omega.
Very nicely done.
Very good. Yes. This is what I was talking about later. Jambeard says, wasn't the thumb up the butt spot a PWG thing that featured 20 guys doing it to each other with Aleister Black, Jushin Thunder Liger, and the Bucks? Yes. That was a thing they did in PWG. It was a joke thing that they did all the time. So, yeah.
I didn't know about it. Seems like a deep cut. Very not a character. I feel like we went past Medusa Oblongado too fast. That's unbelievable. Thank you.
And Jambeard says, happy 5 years. I believe it's 4 years.
I'm coming up on 5 in a week and a half.
2021.
I will have been here for 4 years. I'll be entering my 5th year.
Okay. So entering your 5th year, but you will have your 1, 2, 3, 4 years. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense.
It's wild.
Singing and punning her way into our sour hearts while covering the dumpster fire that is NXT through all of its redos that it's had.
Alex plucked me from the SmackDown post show and said, you're going to be weird enough to get through the NXT 2.0 era. And there it was.
Nobody else would have been it. Christopher says the claviculling.
Very nice.
And Meet Norma says stethoscope. Stethoscope.
Oh, okay.
Devon, get the nurses. Ash by insurance. Order Lee Moriarty. Shane Taylor prescriptions. Vaccination of domination. Jeloba Femi.
Very well done. Thank you.
Jambeard says Ash by edema. Sepsis host. Not step host.
Well done.
Sepsis host. T Electric Mayhem says Piper's the Pit. Clinic Jackson and Satnam Syringe.
Very nice.
Very, very good. We're not with this one. Oh, there we go. Cito Gatto says Fragrance Man wrestled a grizzly in Alaska. Part of the lore for Fragrance Man, I suppose.
There you go.
I think that's it. Oh, wait, here we go. Wallab says, whose grain? My grain. Skirt, skirt, ow, ow.
That was me this weekend. You could just do Whose House MD.
You could. Okay. So Myles and Tavian are like, hey, how's it going? Good? All right, cool. And that was basically all that is. And we got Myles Borne versus Lexis King. This match went on too long.
Something we did not say about anything else tonight.
Yeah, you could have added time to all the other matches we've talked about that were short and made this less. All the thing that needed to happen was the stomp to the ear.
Right.
By Lexis King, and then the receipt, like the eat to feet, but I think it was eat to knee kind of a thing of that was given back to Lexis. Myles Borne hit the zigzag, but I don't know what do you call that if your name is Myles Borne? You can't call it a zigzag. Born barn? I don't know. What do you
the Bizborn?
The Bizborn? I don't know what they call that. But that's the finisher they gave him. I think it looks good, and he hits it pretty viciously.
Yes, he does.
This thing was like 10 minutes long, and it's evident who the guy who's got the future here is in the first 2 minutes. So you don't need to make it 10 minutes.
I think it's weird because they made it so that it was vicious. Like it felt personal. But this was just sandwiched on a show. You know what I mean? Like it feels like they were building this to be extremely personal, like it should have some sort of emotional fuel and a blow off. But when you just kind of sandwich it in the middle of this, it didn't have any bite to it. But it was fine. Like Lexis King was a proper heel opponent to do what they wanted to execute with this story. I don't have a problem with it.
If they called it this, I missed it. But calling it the Born Again is fairly clever. I'll give it to him.
That's pretty good. I feel like if Nick Nemeth does it, we've talked about this. It needs to be the Knick-Knack now.
The Knick-Knack, yes. Yeah. And then we decided that the Knick-Knack Paddywhack give a dog a bone.
Yeah, it has to be. That's the full name.
That's the full name for it. Yeah. Lord Kev says Big Josh. That's it. That's the chat.
Legend. Mm-hmm. I had no idea Big Josh existed until for some reason I was talking about the WCW short-lived trios titles. Mm-hmm. It was him and Dustin Rhodes and Z-Man?
Doesn't matter. Probably Z-Man Tom Zank. Yes, because you didn't know who Z-Man was either. Z-Man Tom Zank. Come on. Yeah, no.
Everyone says like, well, he was Doink the Clown. That's the noteworthy thing, and I was like, no, the noteworthy thing was he came to the ring with drugged out bears, real ones.
He entered with 2 bears walking on their hind legs, pissing down the ramp because they were so heavily drugged.
Yeah, as honestly as they should have been.
Right, you don't want you don't want undrugged bears.
No, that'd be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Pissing down the ramp because they're so drugged up. Now that is a normal, responsible way to go about business.
Right. It would be, yes. Well, Mexis King was doing a lot of things where he was literally yelling into the ears of Myles Borne, I know you can hear me. And Booker T was on commentary saying Myles Borne is pretending to be deaf. And Vic Joseph is saying, that's insane. Why would he pretend to be deaf? Like, why would he pretend to be deaf? Okay. Sure. Like you don't know. What?
Booker T is doing commentary that's an inside joke to himself. And now I'm at the point where I respect it.
Sepsis King.
Allie with a banger. I love it.
Anyway, so yeah, he wins. Myles Borne wins. Good. I'm glad. There was so listen, I feel like someone should set up maybe a bit of an intervention for Thea Hale because she does not need coffee. That's not a thing she needs. Good. She doesn't need coffee. She's maybe decaf. You know what I mean? Like you don't need coffee.
At least half and half. Like you can go to Dunkin' Donuts and be like, "Can I get half decaf, half regular?"
Like a half calf.
Yeah, she's very tiny. Yeah,
half calf mocha choca.
Yeah. Give me a half calf mocha choca bullshit. Yeah, that's it.
She apparently has an ongoing series on her social media where she goes to different coffee shops and reviews the coffee or something. But this one was special because she was just talking shit about Nia Jax the whole time. And when it was announced that Nia Jax versus Thea Hale was going to happen on the show tonight, I figured it was going to be a squash. And I was like, why are we feeding Thea Hale to Nia Jax? That doesn't seem like it's the best thing to do with Thea Hale. But also I was like, why? Like Thea Hale was nowhere near what was going on with Nia Jax last week. Why would that be a thing that you would do? And then she explains in her little video that like she waltzes in here like she owns the place, and I don't like that. Okay, fine. You're territorial. Well, that's fine. She's wearing a shirt that says "grown ass woman." So, she
everyone would assume you were a grown-ass woman if you didn't.
Right.
It's like wearing a shirt that says "I'm cool." Like nobody thinks you're cool when you do that.
Right. Yeah.
What have we done with the return of Thea Hale, man? Like, I feel like people were really like into her and waiting for her to come back. And
yeah.
I don't know.
She has a fairly long match with Nia Jax. Nia Jax was playing with her food a little bit, but Thea Hale showed a lot of fire, doing a lot of dumb stuff, like just running crossbodies into Nia Jax seems like a really dumb thing to do. Like,
not the right approach to someone like Nia.
Yeah, her first thing is a flying guillotine / Kimura, and Nia Jax is like, just you get off of me now, and like she doesn't have any other offense, so a lot of it was just like trying to like kick her legs. It was, they did a good job like making Thea like an underdog baby face, doing as much as she possibly could, but eventually Nia's going to beat her. I thought maybe they would spare Thea Hale the pinfall loss and just have Lash Legend come out and attack Nia Jax. And then I thought they'd start to brawl, and a bunch of officials would come out and try and break them up. And then they'd brawl to the back, and then we'd keep checking in with them, and they'd be brawling through the entire episode. And then I remembered they did that last night with Rusev and Sheamus, and there's no way they would do that the next night with a different pair of people less than 24 hours later. That would be crazy. So Nia Jax hits the Annihilator on Thea Hale, and then she's interviewed in the ring, and she says Lash Legend sucks, and then Lash Legend came out and didn't even finish her promo before she dove into the ring, and they started fighting, and they brawled a lot. And then some officials came out and tried to separate them, and then went to commercial. They came back, and 3 other times tonight they were fighting backstage. It's the exact same fucking thing they did last night with Rusev and shit. Last night! Like, this is a fairly standard thing that you do twice a year. The 2 times you do it shouldn't be on back-to-back nights.
I like this idea. Like, I like the program that they're setting up, because Lash has come a long way. Nia is a different type of big woman's wrestler than she was the first time around. And I feel like her having expanded is something that could actually be very productive for Lash, because she is coming along, and I feel like there's some things that she could probably pick up. Like Lash Legend with some power submissions would be terrifying between what that woman can do from a strength perspective. So I like that idea of mixing them up. I just feel like with programs like this, it goes one way or the other, where it's like great or it's really bad. So I'm hoping that it's great, because I feel like and it's a lot of times that's not on the fault of the performer. It's just like a chemistry thing, and like knowing how the other one moves and pacing, like all the elements that you have to balance to put on a really good pro wrestling match. Sometimes it's more challenging with someone that's like you, because you don't have a contrast to play off of. But I feel like right now they're different enough that hopefully they can put something special together. And they're also character-wise completely different, like completely different energies, completely different types of charisma. So I'm hopeful that it works. It just feels like when things go bad with programs like this, they go really bad. So I'm rooting for it to do well. The lazy setup was comical, because it was. Yeah. I felt like it was tired by the end of the night last night with how much they were checking in on them, and then to do like, I thought it was tired by by minute 90. I was like, we get it. They're brawling backstage, and then just to rerun the same play tonight, I thought was I genuinely I was laughing like out loud.
Oba comes out. He's the best. Oba's just the best.
You love him.
I do.
You're not wrong, by the way. I just think it's cute.
He's the best. He comes out and he says, so Inamura and Briggs decided they were going to fight me, but they couldn't even spare their differences long enough to team up and beat me up. They failed miserably. And now it depends on now who's coming after the title now. and it's Trick Williams music, and Oba's reaction is my reaction. Can't just have this guy. Like the other thing about it is the one thing that happens is that they never had a one-on-one match for the title.
Correct.
And Oba says you can't beat me, but we never really got a chance to see if he could one-on-one without somebody else because I don't feel like like we never really got to see what that was. But then, and Trick's like, you want my title, you want this, but you can't have it or whatever. And then Javon Evans comes out. And I do love Javon Evans' promo style. It's very natural. I like it a lot. And I love how the other people he works with love his promo style so much that they break every time he says anything. Like he's like, Trick, man, you're a goofy boy. And like Oba and Trick just fell out. They were both like audibly laughing. And I think he's really, really good at this. He's one of those guys that I go like. So, earlier today, the wonderful Jim Dukers sent NXT night, and I'm wondering how Triple H will ultimately ruin Oba Femi when he gets called up. And I have that same notion about Javon Evans.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, just unfortunately, that's the way it kind of works. But also, he says, in the meantime, I'm awaiting Problematic in Paris when Alberto Del Rio returns to either battle or lead this fake lucha faction, which is certainly possible because anything is possible after Sunday night. Jambier says NXT's only Hopa is Oba. Now, it also depends. This looks like, okay, so Oba's like, how about the two of you fight tonight, and the winner of that faces me? And Javon's like, I love that idea. And Trick's like, hold on, I don't want to do that. And then another person joins the party. Okay. Professor Moose, who got his doctorate in ring psychology. And so he knows all about what's going on in all this stuff. So he comes out and he wants Trick Williams. Doesn't he? He gets him at Emergence. Like they've already set up a match for Trick Williams versus him at Emergence. But also don't think I forgot about Roadblock and that match I had with you, Oba. And so they're arguing, and then Dork State decides to take on these four guys 4-on-4. Now, crucially, whenever they attack people, they're either like winded and hurt from a match that just ended, or there's one guy in the ring. And they said, we'll take on these guys. And that did not end well for them. No, I believe it was Saquon Sugars that Oba Femi picked up in the ring over his head and threw into his faction mates on the outside. And I was like, you guys have been pretty good about only picking fights that you know you can win. This was not a good one. And I was like, man, why are we doing an eight-man tag out of this when we already know that these guys are purposefully coming after the tag team titles? Why are we getting them involved with these other guys who they're going to have to do like a can they coexist, can they coexist, can they coexist, can they coexist match?
Because the playbook is 2 pages long. Like it's frustrating because I like the balance of talent in here, but like it really just keeps going to show you how, and we say it week after week, so I don't mean to harp, but like the men's division is just so thin that they don't know where to put anyone. And Ethan Page has to be wrapped up. I like the way they're using Ethan Page, so we'll talk about that separate. But like he's wrapped up with something else, and he already had a program with Javon, and Javon's a top of the card type of talent. He just is. So like, where do you put him? Trick versus Moose, okay. That seems like a perfectly serviceable program for TNA. Moose just dropped to Leon Slater. That match was quite good. Certainly one of the better ones on that card. So I guess it's a situation where he's losing upward, and that's fine. And I'm sure Trick will retain until he loses to Santana, not in his hometown for some reason. But I just wish, because you've been saying it in a broader sense of like, I wish we had more credible opponents for Obafemi, just like from send people down from the main roster, send people from wherever. But like now we're at the point where it's like they need more because they're rerunning the same programs. Like it's not even just like these guys don't have a shot. It's like we're running out of guys. Like it's rough. It's really rough with that. I don't know what the hesitation about doing like a proper Ricky Oba program is. I can only assume it's because they don't want either of them to lose. But this is
if Ricky's not like Ricky's around, we have a very long interview where he talks about Ethan Page and Jasper Troy. Like it seems like he's just here now. He's here for now. We don't know what else to do with him, so he's here for now. And
well, I like him and Ethan, and from a non-kayfabe perspective, I like that they have two of the more seasoned men's wrestlers working with younger talent to try and move them along. I think that's really important right now. But at the same time, it's like it feels like they're going back to this well because the well's so shallow. Like I go out and sign Ace Austin, go out and sign people. Like they need to, because there's just this, there are gaping holes. And I'm not even just saying for like Obafemi to face. I'm saying like who's holding the title after him for if you're not going to do a year-long title reign with Javon Evans, who's holding the title after him?
Well, that's the thing about Javon Evans is I think that you can have him do the almost year-long chase. Now it's very late in that year-long thing, so it's more like an 8-month chase if he starts now and then ends up beating him at Stand and Deliver. But once he becomes the champion, it's your job to have been building the right kinds of heels to come after babyface champion Javon Evans, so you don't have this problem. Because this is the problem is that you did the exact right thing, which was to make Obafemi your world champion, but you didn't have anybody to come after him. You know what I mean? And here's the deal. I'll talk about this now briefly because they didn't talk about it at all. Tony D'Angelo was eating in a restaurant and a shadow loomed over him. End of episode. And they didn't bring it up at all tonight. So we had hoped that was Paul Heyman coming to recruit him. And I guess that still might happen next week or whatever. He'll debut on Raw or whatever. But they didn't mention it at all tonight. So if it is somebody or whatever, and you're gonna do Tony D'Angelo, who's not the Don of NXT anymore. He left his fedora in the ring symbolically, and so you're just gonna have him do other stuff in the ring. The guy who should come up to Obafemi tonight when Oba says, "I don't have anybody to challenge me," is Tony D'Angelo, who says, you can't. I beat you for the North American Championship, and you came back and tried to get it back, but you couldn't. So you
100%.
know that I can beat you, big man, and I know I can beat you too. The question is, can I beat you for that? Let's find out. And if he is going to the main roster, or if he's sticking around for another year, or whatever, a thing you should do, especially now, because you got nobody else to do it with, unless you're doing the very long Javon Evans thing. But you should do a Tony D'Angelo says, I can beat you because I know I can, because you know I can too, and just do it. You
Agreed.
do that. I mean, the other thing that you're going to do, like Jambeard says, is that Tony D's going to be the fifth Americano. He's going to be El Grande Italiano.
Nope. It's been fun. Almost 5 years. Can't allow him to say that. Nope. Because that could very easily get spoken into existence and be real. So. Never again. There are some things that are not worth the money. Okay. That's one of them.
Jim Beard says, I'm going to book the darkest timeline for an Oba Femi call-up. Oh, Booker T gets called up as a heel commentator, and Oba is his bodyguard. That
What's
would
wrong
be
with you people?
a very dark timeline for sure. Yeah. Yep.
That's your damn minds. I also said this on social media. We were talking about ring psychology. There's not enough talk about ring psychiatry, where opponents just take their properly prescribed meds, and they feel right and prepared for the match.
Yes,
there needs to be more of a focus on that.
Would it also lead to a more of a state where they would just shake hands and agree to a draw?
Probably,
you know what I mean?
like they would just more peacefully resolve things.
Yeah, peacefully resolve things.
And then Lacey Evans can come back and just yell at everybody to go to the gym instead.
So anyway, backstage, all four of these gentlemen, Javon, Oba, Trick, and Moose, are all yelling at Ava about how they want to beat they want to know what they're going to do here, and then Ava's like, hey, how about this? Javon and Trick Williams in 2 weeks at the NXT show in Philadelphia, which is 5 days before the actual plech in Lowell, Massachusetts. You guys are going to fight each other, and the winner gets Obafemi. I think the most likely thing to happen there is a no contest, and it's a triple threat again. I hope I'm wrong, but I think that's the most likely thing. Then Javon is like, hold no. That's 2 weeks from now. Why are we doing that next week? Because next week, all four of you guys who don't like each other are going to team together to face Dork State, because I only have so many ideas. And then Hank and Tank come in and go, we want Dork State. And then it says, okay, you can have Dork State at Heatwave. And I'm like, well, we're assuming that Obafemi doesn't murder all four of those guys. You know what I mean? Like it's very odd. Like, so the not being able to coexist is going to cost them, these four guys, Moose, who's got a tag team, who's got a title match for the TNA champion, the NXT champion, the top contender for the NXT championship, and the top contender for the TNA's championship, excuse me. All of those people are going, one of them is going to get pinned by Dork State next week. Probably Javon Evans.
What if Obafemi, it ends in a no contest because Obafemi has kicked all of their asses, including the people on his own team?
That's fine.
I don't normally like booking like that, but for Oba, I will make an exception.
Jambeard says, better yet, El Grande Obacano. I do not agree to this. Do not kick me off the stream. I'm just reading what somebody paid me to say.
Only because you qualified it to get to this day.
Good. Ariana Venti comes up to Stax, and they're starting a relationship, because the last one worked out so great for Carmen Petrovich and Ashanti the Adonis. Ariana Venti, it turns out she was specifically placed in that room last week for Stax to get slapped by Inamura and her to walk up and go, "Are you okay?" It's hey, I'm just checking on you a week later to see if the slap still hurts, because if so, you should consult your physician. Yeah. Like it's just whatever. And he's like, "Oh no, I'm fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Also, don't worry about Nia Jax and Lash Legend, who are fighting over here behind us." That was weird, right? And then another weird thing. Sharon Dempsey and Ren Sinclair standing backstage, and I missed why she said his name, but she said Joe Hendry's name. and he appeared out of a fridge.
He did appear out of a fridge. That is correct.
So all of those teases for Joe Hendry, those little blips of his face last week on the show, was to say that he was going to show up out of a fridge and start a feud with Charlie Dempsey.
I can't tell you from an in-ring perspective how much I don't want to see that. I can't think of a program for either guy that I would care about less. But also, like, they did on social media, the Joe Hendry had turned Bill Nye the Science Guy thing. And I'm like, stop telling us people are going to be there if they're supposed to be surprised popping out of the fridge. Also, what was he doing in the fridge? Is he just hang out in a fridge like some weird Law and Order SVU episode?
It's just, do you remember when we did a review of the Master of the Universe movie, Forget the Flick Out of There? and the cosmic key could open a portal to anywhere? I think that's what happens. Like, if he gets called to your present location, like, he could just pop up anywhere. So, like, he's very.
So he hasn't been hiding in the fridge. That was just his his drug of choice to show up.
That was where the portal sent him. Like, he just popped into existence from his other dimension. He just zoop. I'm in the fridge.
And, I dare them to explain that to me on television.
Charlie is like, you're the last person NXT needs right now. And Joe Hendry gives him a change of clothes so he can look like Joe Hendry. Meanwhile, Ren Sinclair is already wearing a blue top and white pants. Charlie Dempsey throws away this peace offering, I guess, and they're going to have a match next week.
When is Renifer going to have a program? And I'm calling her Renifer now.
I mean, she is on a very short list for a match she will have next week, but I'm not really sure if that consists of being a program. But yeah,
I want her to, because she's such a character, and I mean that in a positive way. I want her to have like a story to showcase that, and that's hers.
Right.
I don't want her to have side character energy when she has main character energy. Knock it off. Let her wrestle.
Inamura versus Stax is a match that only lasts 3 minutes and 19 seconds. Because
Stax, who left the family and is now a baseball player.
Yeah.
He had baseball pants on as gear today.
He's worn that before. Like, that's like a 2-year-old set of gear that he's worn in the past, but hasn't worn very often recently. I remember was like, why are you a baseball player?
It's cool, but it just feels like a weird evolution from like my family is now gone. I now play baseball.
Right.
The thing Tony D was holding me back from was a life of baseball.
Yeah.
However, if he can pitch, head to New York, my friend.
Stax talks some shit and gets slapped on the outside at ringside, and then Ariana Venti, who's out there with soon to be her new man, slaps Inamura, and Inamura's like, "Hey, that's not okay. Don't do that. I don't like that at all."
What are you saying me for?
And then the referee gets Inamura, you get back in the ring. Ariana Venti, you get the hell to the back. And Inamura walks into the ring, and Double Vest comes in and big boots him in the face. And then Stax just slides in and gets the pin.
Like, everything tonight that was in ring had some sort of like either like just insane follow-ups. When I say the show felt crowded, it's because this happened with Dork State. It happened with Blake. It happened like sometimes you should just have a match that it should just end. And I know that the story called for this, but like this episode was just like overload.
Yeah. Jambeard says, simply for the SGS Starbucks themed memes, I want Ariana Venti as one of the Grandes. El Venti Americano. No. Because she would also be El Venti Canadiano.
Okay, well, now we're on to something.
Jimber's just being mean-spirited now. Give Aaron Boone 10 more years with the Yankees. That's hurtful.
Doesn't mean.
Speaking of Canadianos, Ethan Page comes out to talk about how great he is, and even though
I was not expecting an Alexander Graham Bell reference on the show tonight, Alex.
did he?
He's talking about the lineage of great Canadians, and I was like, he's gonna say like Bret Hart, and he does, but not before he drops Alexander Graham Bell.
Yeah, the inventor of the telephone.
I know. I was just expecting to keep it in wrestling, and he's like, I'm gonna broaden the scope to include inventors.
Bret Hart, Alexander Graham Bell, Dudley Do-Right, top 3 Canadians.
Perfect.
So even though that slimy little snake couldn't beat me, I want to give credit where credit's due. As a Canadian, Santino Marella is better than all of you. And then Tavian Heights comes out. I was like, hell yeah, sure. Like, we know Ethan Page is losing the North American title yet, but Tavian Heights could have a friggin' great match and announce himself as a singles star. Yeah.
Love that.
Make the match right now for Heatwave. If you don't have room on the Heatwave card, make it a major match for that Philadelphia show in 2 weeks. And then they just went ahead and ruined all of that. Because I just want to see a great wrestler versus another great wrestler. The other great wrestler is doing a comedy heel type gimmick, but we know he can go. He's Ethan Page. I just want to see that one-on-one match. I have no interest in a mixed tag match, even featuring one half of the mixed tag being Chelsea Green, who is also great at being a comedy heel, because I know what the match is going to be. It's going to be like, I just know what the match is. Before it's happened, I know what the match is. Doesn't even matter who, because Chelsea Green says you have to find a partner and you'll face us. And David Heights says, yes, I will. It doesn't even matter who he finds. It probably is going to be Ren Sinclair, but it might not be because she's doing a thing with Joe Hendry. So instead of it being Ren Sinclair, the only person we've ever seen Tavian Heights of the female persuasion that he's ever interacted with, he's probably going to go to the main roster and bring down Mia Yim or Zelina Vega and team with that person versus Chelsea Green and Ethan Page. But I don't want to see that either, because mixed tag matches are bad. They're always bad. Oops, I tagged in my partner. Now you have to get out of the ring, and we have to start all over again. It's bad. It's always bad. I don't like it. Just get immediately to Tavian Heights versus Ethan Page, please.
I'm okay with it as a starting point. I just want it to evolve into a program where specifically Tavian Heights gets elevated. Not saying that he should beat Ethan Page, but like when he came out, I was like, this is 100%. This is what I want on the main roster for the men and the women. I don't want Becky facing Nikki Bella. I want her facing Ivy Nile. I don't want Cody Rhodes facing another. I don't want Cody Rhodes to be the one to face Del Rio when he comes back. I don't want Cena and Lesnar. I want these guys, your Cenas, your Codys, working with young talent to move them along. Now, Ethan Page isn't as established and not as old, quite frankly, as some of the names that I mentioned. But, like, he has wrestling experience that a lot of Tavian Heights very clearly does. But, like, he has American wrestling television experience that a lot of these guys don't have. And one of my favorite things about Ethan's work is he's incredibly versatile. Big guy, small guy, whatever style, whatever type of promo. Like, he is a key talent in anybody that you throw his way he can work with. And I was like, Tavian's a great call for him. And I know everyone says, like, this look is it's giving Roman Reigns. I really like it for him. Like, I think he looks really, really cool with it. There's just something very like I feel like the No Quarter Catch crew is such like was so wrestling purist focused, whatever, that like that guy just in regular clothes, hair pulled back. Like there's something that's kind of refreshing about the authentic change that looks like in a way.
Yeah.
So I'm for this program. I don't mind it starting off as like this Canadian finest thing, and Piper Niven's gonna do some cool shit to whoever's on the other side and whatever. But I as long as it progresses to the point where we get Ethan Tavian 1-on-1, maybe that ends up being a stip match, whatever. Because I really feel like Tavian is special, and I feel like Ethan Page could launch him into another stratosphere.
Yeah, I mean, if you told me this is his first attempt at the North American Championship, and he wins it several months from now, you know what I mean? Yeah, sure. He's great. Build a new star. Build a new star, for God's sake. For the love of God.
Company
for the love of God, build a new star. Yeah, we need people who are going to be around when Oba moves up. We need people when Ethan Page moves up, when Ricky Starks moves up. We need people to be like to anchor this place. Like one of the main reasons that Trick can't go anywhere is because they need a guy with that kind of star power on the show to pull eyes. Everyone goes, I know who that guy is, because they just don't do.
Yeah.
You know, that's so. Yeah.
I'm with you.
So, by the way, Chelsea did a fantastic job with all the comedy stuff when she came out, and she was very, very good at this. And I love Chelsea Green. I want the comedy to mean something. I don't want it to be like I'm just doing gags. I'm just doing gags because that's my function here, as opposed to like where are we going with this? She's the same character that she was when she was the US champ, but that's been months now. Like
they've really done nothing for her follow-up at all. It's a shame.
She mourned having lost the title for 2 weeks, and now that gimmick has been given to the New Day. And now she's just like, she's not the champion, so isn't she out of office? Why does she have Secret Hervis anymore?
Well, even like her I'm a US champion, but I'm actually Canadian, and I have European. The Hervis is European is now what they're doing with El Grande Americano, right? Like it's the same damn thing. I feel like that depends a lot who's on the other side of it. If you did like a badass All-American, if it was like Ivy Nile and Kendall Gray and what's her name, Steele from LFG, and it was just like these badass women with Tavian Heights or whatever for this program, that would be awesome. But I don't have faith that that's what they're gonna do. So I feel like whether Chelsea's comedy means something is dependent on who ends up being.
I love the idea of him finding Tyra May Steele, because he's a former like shoot wrestler, like actual grappler,
Olympian.
That's a perfect person to pull into this. Watching her like suplex Chelsea all over the ring, like
Chelsea selling for that would be great.
Chelsea selling for that would be great. That's a perfect person to do. I think there's a 1% chance that it's her, and a 15% chance that it's Ren Sinclair, and the rest of the percentage is split between all the people Chelsea Green doesn't like on the main roster, because that's just kind of what they do now.
Well, they have no other ideas for Mia Yim. It was, hey, you're paired with BFAB, and they were like, she's with the Street Profits now for no reason. Just kidding.
Right.
Oh, yeah. All right.
And Jambeard says, Alex, as a Canadian, the real number one answer to the greatest Canadian is Terry Fox. Well, yeah, but that's not really funny though. Like, Terry Fox was one of the greatest humans to ever live. So
this is true. So there's not comedic value.
This is true. So yes, no, the guy who ran across Canada to as he was dying of cancer to raise awareness for cancer research. Yes, the best Canadian ever. But like, wasn't it better if it's like the
The guy
maple
that-
syrup guy? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You know, it's better if it's that Mrs. Buttersworth. That's the greatest Canadian woman to ever live. Chelsea Green's number 2. Sola and Zarya are talking backstage, and then Nia and Lash fight some more. So,
Just brawling.
yeah, Ava's like, you guys are gonna fight next week. It's okay, great. Kelly Kincaid has a very long sit-down interview with Ricky Saints, and all it was to me was just a big flashing light saying, "They have no plans for me on the main roster." That's all it was to me. I didn't like. Now let me talk about Ethan Page for a bit. Also, this Jasper Troy. Yes, it's true that I did lose my count out, but you can't keep Ricky Saints down. And I'm like, okay. I think Ricky Saints is a star waiting to happen. You know what I mean? Like if you said Oba's going up in less than 2 months. Who's the guy who's going to take up for him? It should be Ricky. And then turn him heel while he's champion and let Javon take it off of him. Like I think Ricky cutting heel promos in NXT would be magical. But if they're not going to do anything with him soon, then he's better than a lot of the guys they got on the main roster sucking up time. You know what I mean?
I know that's right.
So
I don't think they get the face that he is yet, and sometimes that's just a matter of time. Like guy in a new environment, but he's been there a little bit now.
Yeah,
and
February, 6
oh
months.
my God, was it February? It was February, wasn't it? Yeesh. Not great on their parts. But like the thing with Ricky is he's just very cool. And he owns expensive things and he's neat and he's cool. So just like I feel like they haven't found like the slot that they should put him in a little bit, because he has that everyone compares him to like 97 Rock, right? Like I feel like maybe they lean on that too much because I think Ricky has something that's his own. But if you were saying like archetype wise, it's probably that more than kind of this like it's a little more baby than face. You know what I mean? Like I don't think he's such a baby face. I think there's still a little bit of cockiness to him when I think of Ricky Saints, and I don't think we get that from him yet, but they'll probably find it along the way because Ricky's really good at this.
Ricky versus Jasper is in 2 weeks in Philly, and he promises it won't end up the same way again.
I think I swear. Ricky Saints. Okay. You're a face and you promised something. Bret Hart is going to have a stern talking to you if you don't win.
So the NXT Women's North American Championship match. So Ruca and Tatum Paxley. Tatum has improved in ways like you can't even describe. She's the heel. She's calling the match. She's doing it through feigned tears. Like they're laying on the mat and she's having a freak out, but you can tell she's calling the next spot.
Yeah.
Shoot me into the ropes and then we're gonna like she's just like that's tough stuff to do when you're this young and like haven't been doing it for this long. That's really tough. She's fully in character while the stuff that she is saying is calling the match. That's great. And you know, Soul's really talented and is doing fun stuff, but like, you know, some of the stuff is, you know, too high concept. Like you're sitting on the top rope. I'm going to hop to the top. You're sitting on the top turnbuckle. I'm going to hop to the top rope next to you. Whoops, lost my balance, fell off. It's fine though. I'm going to climb back up again. It's like, these are just things that are maybe a little too high concept. But big bumps, a lot of stuff. And then all of a sudden it's just bullshit. It's just bullshit. It's just like, we're just like, okay, these are two women who are really talented. They're having a good match against each other. Let's just open like a sunroof in the middle of the ceiling and just drop in a bunch of cow dung. We're just pouring bullshit all over this match because here comes Nia Jax and here comes Lash Legend and they're fighting at ringside, and they are brawling so much that there's enough of a distraction that Sean Spears is trying to pass the Barbie doll, which again is the weapon of choice for Tatum Paxley, because anybody who works for Don Callis has a screwdriver, which I do believe would do damage, but the end of a screwdriver, notably, is much harder and sharper than the feet of a Barbie doll.
You're not wrong.
And so that is the thing we're going to pass to her. But then Izzy is like, no, don't give it to her. And then she says, yes, leave it on the apron and let her come and pick it up. And Sean and Spears is like, And I don't know what the difference is between handing it to her and leaving it in a place where she can easily pick it up. But apparently there's a big difference there. And then Tatum does pick it up, but she's so slow in getting to it that she just walks right into a soul snatcher and loses. So this was fun while it wasn't covered in bullshit. But then they covered it in bullshit. So
I do want to say I think that I feel like Nia Jax has main roster experience and knows not to brawl to the parking lot. She brawled to the ring. And I respect that because it's the safest way to continue to brawl. Just way too crowded of a program tonight.
Right.
Like even my favorite thing on the show was like, and then we added people. This is a little Family Guy. If more people join in, the song will get better-ish. Like this is, it was too much. So then to do this on top of everything, it was just like, can we have a match where two people resolve something or move things on? I guess Myles, Borne, and Lexis King, but my God, like this whole show was just overwrought with like backstage angles and tons of faction. Like it was. I got ADD, man. It was too much.
Yeah,
too much.
Last week we got Ruca looking disapprovingly at the culling, like, you guys aren't a real family. I'm like, so I thought maybe once those guys were getting involved in the match, we would get like a wild Luca Crucifino appears, and no, he wasn't there either. So like they did like basically like, let's check in with the members of the family. Just kidding, not you, Big Ange. You go home. But they did a check-in with all of them last week. One of them was seemingly murdered in a restaurant, and another one got slapped by Inamura, and the other one was like, I don't like the cut of your jib, culling. And only one of those guys got anything resembling a follow-up. So hopefully they do more of that going forward. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. That's the thing. That's the show.
Yeah, when there's like angles involved that don't even have to do with the competitors, right? Like when we have the culling with Tatum and how that plays out, and we have this will they won't they relationship with Soul and Zarya, and we have like when you're introducing elements that aren't even involving the competitors, and all of the competitors already have complications with their relationships, it's just it's too damn much. As far as the lack of cliffhangers, they've done that before with these like extremely well done vignettes, but they haven't like that was a heck of a cliffhanger to not follow up on. I'll say that much. Like they did spreading out the story over multiple weeks where they'd skip some weeks in between, but that one I want to know what happened to Tony D. I want to know where he is, and I want to know now.
Come on, let's go. Jimber says Ethan Page should have Chelsea face a fellow Canadian in Carmen. I'm sorry, does Ethan Page get to pick Tavian's partner? If so, that's interesting. But I think you got to have it be American so that the Rubes in NXT can be like, USA, USA, and have it apply to both members of the babyface tag team, because they wouldn't know what to do. You know, well,
and like as far as the angle goes, that part is working. Like Ethan Page is getting booed, and Tavian
he's getting that heat, yeah, for sure. A Jambeard says, I kind of want a Thea Hale / Ivy Nile tag team and call them Mini Mean.
I would like them to do things with Ivy Dial.
Mm-hmm.
And Julius Creed for that matter,
Mm-hmm.
but that was a rant from yesterday.
Yeah. Meet Enormous says, I see you can't see me. Surgeon Moxley.
Very nice.
Surgeon
Very
Moxley.
Beautiful
Defibrillation
performance.
of domination. Big Josh and his urgent bears. Generation vasectomy. And pillbox like structure.
Very nice.
T Electric Mayhem says Queen Traumanata.
That's really good.
Thank you to Electric Man for that one. Surgeon of Doom, not Dungeon of Doom, but Surgeon of Doom, and Gazuchka Okada.
Very nice.
Bandage that up. Joe Machine says Tatum loses, but the culling helps. Izzy is jelly. Yes, Izzy was jelly when Tatum got given the title shot by Shawn Spears. Izzy does not like that Tatum is leapfrogging her in the thing. That's part of this, but a very weird way to show it is like, no, don't give it to her. Leave it where she can see it and pick it up herself. Is a weird way of showing that she's jealous. But yes, so that's what we're going to do.
Agreed. I love me some Tater.
Mm-hmm. Tom says, LOL, WWE fans used to chant USA to cheer Bret Hart. It all depends on how close to USA you are, depending on who you're facing. Like, I believe Bret Hart was getting USA chants against Hakushi.
Well,
because basically,
just like North America doesn't really have the same.
No, it doesn't have the same ring to it. All right, no more jukeboxes, no more anything else. We're getting out of here. Pseudo on time.
Cut off.
Here we go. Orion Ben says Darby sings Southern California by Wax.
Thank you guys.
This is not the Southern California song. I thought I didn't know who sang the Southern California song, but you're the ones like, they say it never rains in Southern California. I like that song, but I don't know who does it. But it's not Wax. It's not Wax.
No.
I'm gonna move to Southern California. Got me a ride, and I'm a reason to ignore you. Got me a radio. Ain't got no speakers. Ain't got much use. So I'm leaving it. Leaving it for you. I'm leaving it for you. Could be bye for you. Got to find a room, and I'm running out of money. Staying out late, but I got to get early. Why did I move to Southern California? Smog isn't blue. Someone should have warned you. They should have warned you. Could be bye. Could be bye for you, Malachi Black.
The trail off at the end was so bad. When people just give up on words halfway through. Beautiful.
All right, you got one. So look it up. And while I'm doing all these, hold on. I'm gonna do this one. Rafael Garcia says the Brawnologues. Braun recites, "Is this a dagger?" from Macbeth. Also, fingerling potatoes in pot roast. Life changer for all pot roasts. All pot roasts can fuck off.
Whoa, Alex!
I am anti pot roast.
Alex shoots on pot roast.
I am shooting on pot roast. I believe almost all meat should be cooked via flame.
You are not usually one to speak in such absolutes, but
I said almost.
You did. But in that way that you were like, I really feel like all, but I'm just going to leave the door open.
There's like 96% of all meat should be cooked via flame.
Interesting. Okay.
Just saying. I like fingerling potatoes. I don't think they would make pot roasts better for me, but I'd happily have them with my steak because it's cooked by a flame.
You said all pot roasts can go to hell, is what I heard from Alex Pulaski.
It's true.
Just saying.
Okay.
Rafael Garcia just trying to help us out, but
I mean, yeah, but you can
Alex goes into business for himself on this one.
for sure. Yep.
That's how that went.
Is this the dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, yet I see thee still. Art thou not, fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind? A false creation, proceeding from the heat-impressed brain. I see thee yet in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshallest me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes are made the fools of the other senses, or else worst all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade and dudgeon gouts of blood, which was not so before.
That was
Get
beautiful, Brown.
these stanzas.
Okay. Yeah, you do yours.
God, I wish somebody would have told me when I was younger that all bodies aren't the same. Photoshop itty bitty models on magazine covers told me I was overweight. I stopped eating. What a bummer. Can't have carbs on a hot girl summer. If I could go back and tell myself when I was younger, I'd say, I know Victoria's Secrets. And girl, you wouldn't believe she's an old man who lives in Ohio, making money off of girls like me, cashing in on body issues, selling skin and bones with big boobs. I know Victoria's Secret. She was made up by a dude. She was made up by a dude. Victoria was made up by a dude. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Very good.
I love when I get one. I'm just in and out. I just get to sit back.
That's great. Yeah. Jim Beard says we've had System of Anaya, Blurry Not Boys. I now present to you Tool Linder to sing Sober by Tool, and many other songs by Tool.
This is a lot of songs by Tool. We might need to save some for next week.
There's a shadow just behind me, shrouding every step I take, making every promise empty, pointing every finger at me, waiting like a stalking butler, who upon the finger rests. Murder now the path of must wait, just because the sun has come. Jesus, won't you fucking whistle? Something but the past and done. Jesus, won't you fucking whistle? Something but the past and done. Why can't we not be sober? I just want to start this over. Why can't we drink forever? I just want to start this over. Hold on, I gotta look this up.
Great song.
Remember the schism? Remember the schism in NXT?
With the
was
Joe
a wild
Casey.
time? That was a wild
The
time.
GYV.
The GYV and the Ava. Used to
And
be the Ava
Ava.
Rain. She doesn't
That's right.
reign anymore.
No, she does not. She's just Ava, like the Madonna.
I know the pieces fit because I watched them fall away, mildewed and smoldering, fundamental differing, pure intention juxtaposed, will set two lovers' souls in motion, disintegrating as it goes, testing our communication. The light that fueled our fire then has burned a hole between us, so we cannot seem to reach an end, crippling our communication. Isn't that always the way? Isn't that always the way? It's the way that works all the time, crippling our communication.
Ain't that the truth? Or ain't it the wrong killings? I don't know anymore.
Linda, this me to sing the pot. Oh, the pot. I tried smoking the pot for my glaucoma.
The devil's lettuce?
I didn't take to it. I wonder if this song is about that. Who are you to wave your finger? You must have been out of your head. I hold deep in muddy waters. You practically raised the dead. rob the grave to snow the cradle, then burn the evidence down. Soapbox, House of Cards. Remember House of Cards? You're not allowed to watch that anymore because Kevin Spacey.
No. Well, the latest
It was a
season
great
she's
show.
not on.
It was
It's a
a
whole
great
thing.
show, but you're not allowed to watch it anymore because of Kevin Spacey.
But they pivoted
Soapbox,
to
House of Cards, and Glass. So don't go flossing your stones around. You must have been high. You must have been high. You must have been high.
I don't know what elevation has to do with any of this.
Neither do I. Are we in Denver?
What's this with the
I don't know what's going
topography all
on.
of a sudden with this tool?
I don't
the
know what's
tool?
going on. Hold
I don't know
on.
what's going on with the tool either.
Okay, so here we go. Rosetta Stone. Is this a pot band? Is this one of those? This one of those hippie bands that always
Oh,
talks
what
like,
of those
is it
stoner
like the
rocks?
Grateful Dead? Is it like the Grateful Dead?
Oh
Is that
my
what Tool-
God.
I'm not familiar with the Tool catalog.
We had that friend who that followed the Grateful Dead around. We never saw her
Oh
again.
my
She was just
goodness.
off.
No, she
Julia,
no.
just gone.
just gone. Julia's gone on Friday nights. Don't see her anymore.
It's so
Alrighty
true.
then, picture this if you will. 10 to 2 a.m. X, Yogi DMT, and a bottle of a box. A box of Krispy Kremes in my need to know post just outside of Area 51, contemplating the whole chosen people thingy when just a flaming stealth banana split the sky, like one would hope but never really expect to see in a place like this. Cutting right-angle donuts on a dime, and this is a song? Cutting right-angle donuts on a dime and stopping right on my Birkenstocks and me yelping, holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit, 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 holy fucking. That's 9 of them. That's just too
Nine
many.
of them.
That's too many.
That's some potty mouth if I ever heard it.
It's too much.
It's too much.
Linda to sing Stink Fist by Tool, but dedicated it to Lieutenant Photo. I don't know why we're doing that. Does Lieutenant Photo have a stinky fist? I don't know why we're dedicating it to it. I don't know why we're dedicating it to him.
I don't know. I mean, he's a
Something
lovely
has
man.
to change. Undeniable dilemma. Boredom's not a burden anyone should bear. Constant overstimulation numbs me, but I would not want you any other way. Just not enough. I need more. Nothing seems to satisfy. I said I don't want it. I just need it to breathe, to feel, to know I'm alive. Is that all of them? Blessedly so.
Blessedly so.
We're done with that.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Lieutenant Photo says Darby sings I Want to Be Sedated by the Ramones. I got to the second cut for Squid Game The Challenge Season 2 on Netflix. Please send positive thoughts.
Fingers.
All right. We'll send in positive thoughts. Although in the actual Korean series, don't they kill you if you lose? We don't want that to happen to Lieutenant
nervous.
Photo. Yeah,
No, I don't want that at all.
I don't want that to happen at all.
No, thank you.
Okay, where do we go? All right. Darby sings this thing. 20, 24 hours to go. I want to be sedated. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Ho. I want to be sedated. Just get me to the airport before I go insane. Or I can't control. Hurry. Put me at the airport. There we go. Put me on a plane. Hurry before I go insane. I can't control my fingers. I can't control my brain. Oh no.
Oh no.
24 hours to go, baby. I want to be sedated. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Ho. I want to be sedated. Put me in a wheelchair, baby. Get me on a plane. Hurry before I go insane. I can't control my fingers, daddy. I can't control my brain. That's hard time.
Sounds it.
All right. Well, just so you know, he still ain't shown up.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Gotta go back to the great beyond. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Hello. Tom the
Ricky.
Valley says Ricky Rainbow sings Like a Surgeon by Weird Al Yankovic.
Legend. You ever met him?
Oh yeah, I taught him how to play the accordion.
Oh, look
He
at
was
that.
all thumbs before he met me. I finally made it through med school. Somehow I made it through. I'm just an intern. I still make a mistake or two. I was lost in my class, barely passed as the institute. Now I'm trying to avoid. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid a malpractice suit. Hey, like a surgeon, cutting for the very first time, like a surgeon. Organ transplants are my line. Better give me all your gauze, nurse. This patient's fading fast. Complications have set in. Don't know how long he'll last. Let me see that IV. Here we go. Time to operate. Pull his inside out. Pull his insides out and see what he ate. Like a surgeon. Hey, cutting for the very first time, baby. Like a surgeon. Here's a waiver for you to sign. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's right. It's it. That's it. It's over. That's all.
That was beautiful.
All right. Well,
Kind of
keep
stole
cool,
Ricky's thunder, to be
Gabagool.
honest. Yeah.
I'll steal whoever thunder I want.
Well, I'm just saying.